Hey everyone, so in this video, I just want to quickly go over BRR as a option process, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to go through what it is in brief. And if you've got any further questions on it, pop them into the group and we will get them answered there, or jump on the weekly calls and ask them. But there's a lot to do with BRR, and at this stage, I just want to give the basics of how it kind of works, and from there we can then see if it's a good fit for your area, your budgets, your hunting pots, all that sort of stuff. So let's just quickly dive in here. So BRR. So in essence, what BRR does is it kind of spins money through property. So let me just give you an example. So let's say if we bought a house for 50,000, okay, and we then paid, it would be, let's just say it's 50 grand, including all stamp duty, all fees, etc., just to keep the maths simple on it. We then spend, so that's your purchase price. We then, let's just say we spend £6,000 on the refurb. Okay, so that's the refurb cost. And that house then now stands as 56 grand. Now, to get into this, you could have done two options, really. You could have bridged it, where you put down a 30% deposit of the 50,000. So that would mean a loan value of 35,000 loan amount. And then you've got your 6 grand refurb costs on top. Now, again, with the loan amount, you will have stamp duty, solicitors' fees, bridging costs, etc. But for the sake of keeping this simple, I just want to keep the figures as simple as possible so there's no confusion. What we then do is, so we acquire the property, we get a bridging loan on it, we borrow £35,000 in the bridging loan company, we put in the £15,000 deposit, and we get the keys to the property, okay? What we then do is we send our builders in and they go and attack the refurb. Once the refurb's done, we then apply for a mortgage on the property. Now, with that mortgage, we are then going to get the uplifted value of the property. So before we entered the deal, we knew that this property done up would be worth around 75,000. Now, we know that because we've done our comparable research online. We've checked with maybe estate agents what they think it would sell for. We have good experience. We've relied on, the likes of myself. If you need me to, vet things, we can do that. Just pop it in the group and we can have a look at deals. And, we know that it's going to be 75 grand there or thereabouts on a successful valuation. Obviously, we can never dictate what the value is going to give us, but let's just assume the value goes out. Typically, this can happen quite quickly as well. Recently I've done one where we bridged it. It took 2 weeks to do the refurb, and within 2.5 months we had the money back in our bank account. So it can happen quite quickly. What I tend to do now, I've got the experience, is the minute I get the keys at this point here, I ring my mortgage broker and tell them to start the refinance, because I know that I've already got the refurb all lined up, ready to go. And by the time the valuation's instructed, I'll be finished the refurb. If it's a bigger project, I might delay that slightly, but I want to move quickly. I want the money back out and I want to get it spent again. So value comes out, £75,000 what he's give us. So we are then going to get a 75% loan to value mortgage on that property. So 75,000 times 75% is £56,250. Okay, so we're going to get £56,250 back from the bank, or the solicitor will get that back from the bank / lender, whoever that might be. What that solicitor will then do is they will pay off the 35,000 bridging loan. So this original bridging loan here will get paid off. So we minus 35,000. So we're then left with £21,250. Okay, that's what's going to be left in our bank account. Obviously, we've spent £6,000. So in this case, minus 6,000, we get £15,250 cash back. Now, there's fees and everything else involved in this scenario. So, cash back is It's something that I actually don't engage in. If I feel like I'm going to get cash back out of a property, I'd rather just reduce the loan to value. So I'll just go for a lesser borrowing. So I might only take a 70% loan to value out. So I wouldn't necessarily, I don't want to be too highly geared unnecessarily. But again, conversations for another day. That is just typically how BRR works out. I will just do another quick example for you, just with, we'll just erase all this. So I'll just do another quick example for you, and then a bit more realistic figures. I'll actually give you some figures broken down with costs involved so we can see exactly what it comes through. And I have recently done one, so I can probably give you exactly what it is. This was on a, what have we done recently? Let's think, HMO. Okay, so bought the HMO for 150,000. I did this with investors' money, so I give them 10% APR return whilst I had the money. So I borrowed the full £150,000, so I didn't actually have to put any deposit in. So we times that by 10%, which is obviously 15 grand, and we divided by 12. So on a monthly basis, I was paying them £1,250, okay, per month. Per month. So I was paying them £1,250 per month. The refurb on this was, I think it was about £8,900. Okay. And it took 4 months, I think it took to get, so we times that by 4. So that's our cost for borrowing the money, which is 5 grand. And plus the 8,900. Was there any other fees? Let's think about it. Solicitors, let's just call it £1 grand. And the stamp duty was about 4.5 grand. Okay. So all in all, the property is 150,000 plus the 8,900 plus the 1,000 plus the 4,500. So 164,400. Okay, that's what it's cost us to acquire that property, plus our 5 grand. So it stands as 169,400 pounds. That's what it cost to get that property bought to a point where it's rentable, and we then paid the funds back off here. So how do we do that? Once we were complete, we got a mortgage. Value on this was 220,000. I then get 75% of that. So 220,000 times 75% is £165,000. So that's what got paid back out to me, or that's what got paid to the solicitor from the lender. What I then do is I pay my investor his money back, and then that stops this. So that then ceases. There's no more interest to be paid because I've paid him his money back. He's got 5 grand for the pleasure of borrowing me that money. And I am in it for 169,400. So 165,000 comes back into my bank account. I pay 150, so I'm left with 15,000. If we look at the actual costs, what it's cost me 5 grand in the money that I had to borrow. It's cost me 8,900 quid on the refurb, plus my solicitor's fees of £1,000, plus the 4.5 grand stamp is 19,400 is what's actually out of my bank account at present. I've paid the £150,000 back off to the investor, which leaves £15,000 surplus, which the solicitor pays me back to my bank account. So 19,400 minus the 15,000 obviously leaves £4,400. So to buy that property has cost me £4,400. And, you know, that is going to cash flow me probably £1,300 net a month, because it's obviously run as a 5-bed HMO. So within 2-3 months, all that money is going to be back out of that deal. I now acquire a property that's worth £220,000, and I've got, so £170,000 it stands us. So I've got about 50 grand's worth of equity in that property from day one, and I've got a property that's going to make me 15 grand a year in profit. So that is the power of BRR, and that's how you can spin money over and over again, either using bridging loans or using investor finance. So hope it helps. In the next video, there is a download research list. It's going to show you how to research BRR for your area. I want you to download the spreadsheet, and I want you to do the research to figure out what the numbers are going to be for your area and what property values are like. And it's really important that you get this fundamental foundational knowledge of how to research areas and how to spot good property deals. It'll save you so much time in the future. So learn it all now. There's going to be steps for each of the strategies with a research video afterwards. Make sure you do all the research. And when you've completed all the research, post into the Facebook group and just let everybody know what your major strategy is that you're going to focus on for the next 90 days. And also why you have chosen that specific area, why you think it's a good fit based on your research.